everyone. This is Miss Coates down in first grade, and today we're going to read chapters 9, 10, and 11. So here's chapter 9. What's the point? One morning, Louie's mother, standing at the top of the cellar stairs, announced visitors. Hey, Louie, we've come to see the sickly donkey. It was Mac, clomping down the stairs, followed by Claudine and Nora. Claudine rushed to Winslow. Oh, Nora stood a few steps back, staring at Winslow. May I touch it? Claudine asked. I could die from its cuteness. Everything about Claudine was soft and elegant. Her voice, her hair, her clothes. Even the way she stood was soft and loose. Nora, however, did not appear soft. She looked as if she had crawled out of a shed in dirty jeans and an oversized black coat, a rather large black rubber boots. Her hands and feet seemed too big for the rest of her. Nora did not say, "Aw," when she saw Winslow. She said, "Ugh." She looked around the basement at the stone walls and concrete floor, at the buckets and hoses and rakes stacked in one corner, at the nearer cot, at Winslow's pile of hay, and then at Winslow. What you got that thing in here for? You sure it's a donkey? Doesn't look like a donkey. Looks like a possum goat. A possum goat? What's that? Louie asked. A thing that looks like a possum, married a goat, and had a baby, and then came out like that. Don't mind Nora, Claudine said in her soft voice. That's just the way she talks. Don't mind Claudine, Nora added. That's just the way she talks. Mac lifted Winslow from Louie's arms and studied him. Gaining a little weight since I first saw him, isn't he? Still pretty spindly. Eyes are better, though, brighter. Maybe he is going to make it. Of course he's going to make it, Louie said, even though he was not sure from one day to the next. He felt it would be betraying Winslow, though, if he did not believe Winslow would make it. Little thing like that, Nora said? Doesn't seem half alive to me. He's still new, Louie said. She didn't know why he said that. It sounded dumb to him the minute it came out of his mouth. Some newborns struggle to get going. Oh, I know all about that, Nora said. You do? Sure. Our brother, Claudine interrupted her. Oh, shush, Nora. Your jabbering is bothering this poor little donkey. He's quivering. I am not jabbering, and I am not bothering that poor possum goat. Nora looked at Louie in the eye. Our brother was born 2 months early, so was I, Louie said. I was a pitiful, scrawny, struggling thing. Nora touched Louie's arm with one finger. But you made it. Oh, it was surprising, Louie thought, how much one simple sentence could affect your opinion of someone. Do you want to hold Winslow? He asked Nora. Nope. What's the point? Claudine nudged her sister. Cut it out, Nora. Don't be mean. I'm not being mean. I don't see the point of holding that thing if it's going to die anyway. Chapter 10. Freeze that scene. One time in the middle of summer, a year or two earlier, Louie was walking down the road on his way to town. He stopped near a batch of tall summer flowers blooming beside a white fence. It seemed like painting to him. Those bold, golden sunflowers against the white fence, and overhead a pure blue sky with white clouds drifting along. Louie wished he could freeze that scene. Then, as he stood there perfectly, a bird floated down and landed on one stalk. The bird was a deeper blue than the sky. What shade was that? Instantly, the name Indigo Bunting came to his mind. He must have seen a bird by that name in a book, but he couldn't think when or where that might have been. And now the scene appeared even more perfect to him. An indigo bunting atop a golden sunflower, beside a white fence, beneath a blue sky with drifting white clouds. He felt supremely happy standing there. On he went into town to buy bread and milk. Before he reached the store, he passed the small park. and on one bench near the walkway lay a disheveled, thin man in a tattered army jacket. He appeared to be asleep. One arm was across his chest and the other hung low to the ground. This man was unshaven, his hair long and straggly, and his clothes filthy. Would I want to freeze this scene? Louis wondered. This scene of the unkempt, thin man in a tattered army jacket on the brown wooden bench on the green grass near the gray walkway. As Louis moved on, he thought he didn't have a choice. This scene, for whatever reason, was already frozen in his mind. On his way back home, Louis slid a small brown bag next to the bench. In the bag were 2 rolls and a candy bar. It was odd, Louis thought now, as he held Winslow trembling in his arms, the smell of milk formula on his face. It was odd that what floated into his mind were both scenes: the indigo bunting atop a golden sunflower beneath a blue sky, and the thin man on a park bench. Winslow's ears brushed against Louis's cheek. This scene, Louis thought, will stay in my mind. Little gray donkey in my arms, trying to stay alive. Right? Chapter 11. What's a Winslow? One morning, when the snow lay deep and white on the ground and the sun shone ahead, Louis wrapped Winslow in a blanket and took him outside, settling on the front porch. Winslow became alert, turning his small head this way and that, eyes blinking against the bright light. He put his narrow face up to Louis's and nibbled at a scarf. Bah, bah, he murmured. Bah. It made Louis laugh. It was the first time the donkey had managed that sound. Up until then, his whimpers always sounded like, please, please. Do you think you're a lamb, Winslow? Are you going to baa like one? You're supposed to say hee-haw. Winslow chomped on Louis's scarf, pulling strands loose. Louis was rubbing his face against Winslow's when someone said, hey! Nora was standing on the sidewalk in her large black coat and her clunky black boots. On her head was a bright yellow knitted hat pulled low over her ears. Nora had big black eyes and black hair that poked out beneath the hat at peculiar angles. She looked rather like a bumblebee, Louis thought. What are you doing with that thing? Nora asked. What thing? You mean Winslow? What's a Winslow? That's his name, Winslow. He's a donkey. And his name is Winslow. That one's gonna die. He's not gonna die. Don't be so sure. Nora took a couple of steps toward the porch, tentative steps, as if she expected something to jump out at her or scold her and send her away. Want to hold him? Nah, why would I do that? Because he's really soft. Nah. Bah, bah. Oh, Nora said. It makes a noise? She had smiled automatically, but then caught herself and removed her smile. Winslow raised his nose in the air, smelling the air around this visitor. Within the blanket, his legs pedaled. He's squiggling, Nora observed. I think he wants to get down on the ground, but I don't know. It might be too cold for him. Nora was now standing at the bottom of the porch steps. You could try it. Maybe you could set him down on the shoveled part and see what happens. Maybe, if you want, or not. Louis unwrapped the blanket and set spindly Winslow down. He wobbled, his legs bending this way and that until he managed to stand upright. Winslow turned toward Nora, took 2 steps, stopped, tottered, and then stumbled the rest of the way. He leaned against her, nudging her boots until Nora leaned down and patted Winslow's head. I think he likes you, Louis said. Nah. She patted Winslow again. You think? Nah, donkeys just do that, I bet. Stumble at anybody. Maybe. Well, I gotta go. Here, you better wrap him up again. You know what, I bet? What? I bet you could let him run around inside the house. I mean, like upstairs instead of the basement. If you put diapers on him. Louie winced. Diapers? Yeah, I heard about some lady who did that with a lamb, so it doesn't stink up your house and make a mess. Diapers? Yeah, diapers. I gotta go. Louie watched her leave in her big black coat and boots and that bright yellow hat. All right, that's it for chapters 9, 10, 11. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed Saving Winslow.